Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Head and Account Recruiting podcast here, rounding the bases. We're sorry we're a little bit late. We were having some technical difficulties here. It was like we were both ventriloquists talking, our lips wouldn't move. So hopefully we're a little bit better, but hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and are staying nice and warm on this. I know it's a chilly night, going to be a chilly morning here in Alabama. I don't know what you're like up there, Coach, but we're supposed to be in the teens tonight down here, which is really chilly for us.
Downright frigid here. Frigid.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cold. It's cold.
I thought what we do tonight is kind of piggyback on what we talked about last time. You offered some good advice on questions to ask coaches and things like that. But I wanted to take it another step further and go, I remember when I was a coach, I wanted to have my recruits also go with my players and ask them anything you want, because I think that that is a telltale sometimes of, you can go and be wined and dined and meet with the coaches and meet with the faculty and all this. And then you see the facilities and you may run out of time. But what about spending the night with the players and actually talking, asking them questions as well? How's the program? How's this? So they get to know you. I heard an excellent talk today. It was on a sports show. Young man has committed, or he signed at Tennessee football. As we all know, National Signing Day was yesterday. And it was between Tennessee, Ohio State, a couple other schools. And he did his visits, and he just knew that there was no choice, that he felt at home he ended up choosing Tennessee with football. And the commentator said, well, what helped you decide that? And he said, it was my family went with me. They stayed in the hotel. I stayed with the players. I did this, I did that. He said, I just felt like I fit in. And the players all were generally interested in him as well. Mm-hmm. And it made him feel comfortable. And I thought that was a really neat thing that a lot of recruits may not think about, is the players on the team that you're going to be with. How do you fit in? We talked about how do you fit into the program. Now, how do you fit into the team? What's your take on that? I think the more you can talk to players on the team or people involved with that team that are day in and day out right there, it just adds to your knowledge of your decision.
Yeah, I agree. So as a recruiter, I would always get a player to come with us on the visit. So a lot of times when I would set up campus visits, admissions would be a stop. But if I could, or one of my assistants could, we would take the student around personally. Okay. Right. And that just adds to the personal experience. That just adds to everything. So I would always bring a player. I would always set up lunch with players. And obviously, if we could set up an overnight visit, we would always set up an overnight visit. And those were the best times that we were able to give these kids the best experiences, because I'm a firm believer, your players in a lot of cases are your best recruiters.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Your players are your best recruiters, not only from the visit or information gathering, like if you bring a kid on campus, but also from a coaching standpoint. Your players, they're smart. They know who the other good players are. They know who their friends are. and
Right.
they'll bring you names. I couldn't tell you how many good players I recruited because my players recommended them, and then those players ended up coming to the school because their friends were there, as well.
Right.
I think that you're going to get the full story when you're going on a recruiting visit. You're going to get the full story of what direction the program is truly going from members of the team.
And I think too, you find out a lot of things about that coach and that culture.
Yeah.
Because when I did this, I did not hand all the kids on the team, the players on the team, took a chance or took a turn on doing this. There wasn't a select 2 or 3 that did it, because
Yeah.
that culture you create is all of your teams have buy-in. All of your team participates. All of your team has ownership. And if you can project that to your roster that you have, let them project that to that recruit. Now, not all schools will do that. They want hands-on, they want this, especially now with NIL and money and this and that or whatever. Well, that's a conversation for the coach or for admissions or for the NIL, the coordinator, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But do you fit into this culture? That's a big question. I've seen kids now that have wanted to all their life go to one school. I want to go there, and they go on the visit, and they're saying it didn't work. I didn't feel it.
Right.
I think you have to do that, and I think you also have to involve your family as much as possible. Believe me, mom and dad are sitting home, and they love you to go on your own. This is your chance to go, but in the background, they're just dying to go with you because they'd like to see too.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. One of the things I used to do with recruits was I used to just say, "Hey, look, you're going to be a member of our baseball team for the day or for the weekend or the 48 hours they were on campus for the visit," and they'd stay all night and that type of stuff. They'd be around the players, they'd stay in the dorm, they'd go to class with a couple of players, right? They'd go to campus events. Heck, they'd go to the cage at night and hit with each other or or stuff like that, and they would practice with us the next day, and if it was in the fall, we'd plug them in on inter squad, and that always gave guys what it was really like to be part of the program.
Right, and you make a good point. When you go on a visit, it doesn't matter if the coach says, you're just going to visit, you're not going to do anything. Take your equipment.
Yeah.
You can always leave it in the car. But just on the off chance, A, it shows you're ready, you're excited about it. B, you don't know if that coach is going to say, "Hey, we got some extra time. You want to hit some balls?" Now you're fumbling through a bat or whatever, or you're borrowing a glove to go out and always take it. You leave it in the car. It's better than saying, "No, I left it at my hometown."
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have a good bunch of players that like to hit and that are cage rats and stuff like that, I couldn't tell you how many times, I'd follow up with one of my players. "Hey, how's it going? It's 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You guys doing all right? You need anything? You want me to order you pizza?" Whatever,
Right.
something like that, right? And they're like, "Hey, coach, we're up in the cage. We're just chilling out." And you know what? They go up there like, every coach wants to see their kids get extra work in the cage. And if
Right.
you have a good culture and a good team that likes to do that, 10 o'clock at night, they're in your indoor, music's playing, guys are, it's really informal. You're getting some swings, you're working on stuff, you're talking, you become better teammates. That's important. And when recruits get involved in it, they're like, I can hang out with these guys. I like the work ethic. I like the guys. I like their personality, and they're going to get honesty. I think that's important.
And I'll tell you, you will know if you fit in when you go out with the team. You will either you will either go out and do things that surprise you, or you will go out and do things that you're comfortable with, or you will go out, whatever it is, you will know and have a good handle of what the culture of that group is,
Right.
and that how they represent that school.
Absolutely. And go to a game if you can. Even if it's a fall inter squad, go to a game. I know if you're there in the spring, go to a home game. We used to bring in kids for weekends, for a weekend series, right? They get there Friday morning or Thursday night. We would put them up in a hotel, the dorm, or whatever we do, right? And then, of course, that was back in the day when the NCAA had rules, right? Now we're handing money to kids and doing all this. Back then, we were worried about getting them an extra pizza on Friday night. You know what I mean? Like, spazzing
Making
out
sure
about,
compliance. That's right.
yeah, we're spazzing out about, extra sausage or pepperoni on the pizza. Now these kids are getting $100,000 or whatever it is. So
They
that
can
was,
buy the pizza place.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. And by the way, that was 3.5 years ago. That's how much this has changed in 3.5 years.
Correct.
We're worried about bagels and whether or not we're spending more than $7.50 on a meal in the cafeteria. So anyway, we'd bring them in. We would go on I would go on a tour with them early in the morning while the guys were still in class. Then they'd come to BP. They'd see how we do stuff before the game, the vibe. They'd stay for the game, right? I'd have admissions check in on them in the middle of the game. And then at night, the parents would go do their thing and check out the town while the kids stayed with us. We'd eat dinner with them. We'd hang out. They'd come in the next day. And, um, if they weren't in season, they were allowed to, sometimes we put them in a BP group and have them even take BP on the field with us before the game,
Right.
just to get that experience. You know, Recruits, and I said this last week, you are the consumer. Remember that. I understand that coaches are selling, right? We're salesmen, okay? Now that doesn't mean we're dishonest. That doesn't mean we're selling used cars. I'm not
Right.
saying that, right? But we're trying to convince you, or college coaches are trying to convince you that this is the place for you. Get as much of that experience as possible because you're the consumer. And
Right.
you're likely to have to pay money or take out some sort of loan or whatever. So you better be certain that it's the right fit. And I know we're in the day of the transfer portal. Get on X and all these people. After meeting with such and such coach, I am transferring. I'm going to tell you something right now. That that is not good for college athletics. I think being able to transfer is good. I transferred myself, but the
Right.
amount of transfers, all this stuff, there's a couple things. Number one, there's always a legit reason to transfer. I get it. But number two, is that in life, you don't just get to say, hey, I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to go to the next thing. I think there's lessons in everything. Now, if you get cut, understandably, try to find another
Right.
place to play. But I think we all can agree to a certain extent it's getting out of control. And I think that we're we're supposed to be teaching life lessons through this game. And I'm not so sure that these lessons aren't we're not kind of getting out of control with some of this stuff. Um, and this is coming from somebody that did it at the Division II level for 20 years,
Oh
and I
yeah.
and I played, right. I mean, I, I would get frustrated at 3 kids transferring out of my program in a year, and
Well, and that takes me to my third point, and I don't want to beleaguer it, but do your homework. before you go. And that's what an organization like ours, a Hidden Account Recruiting, helps you do. You know, you're going to go and you're going to look at a baseball program or a softball program. You're going to look and see how they did. Now, you're going to see the big timers on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know the head of admissions at that school? Do you know, you go in there with an idea that you, A, know more than that about the school, and B, it shows them that, wow, this kid did their research. I'm going to the name is sticking in my head here, but I'm going to take a football player who's still playing in the playoffs, Arch Manning. He's still at Texas, hasn't played in 2 years. The number one quarterback. Why is he staying?
Yeah.
Because he did his research. He loves the program. He loves his degree he's getting, and he will get his time. Now, how many people do you know that don't do that? Oh, I didn't play my first year, 2 years. I'm out of here. Why did you go there? Why, what's your reasoning? Those types of things.
Yeah.
But that's number 3. Do your research or work with a company like us. We'll help you do your research. We'll have you totally prepared to go.
And we can advise you on those things, So I had a conversation with a parent. What do you think about this? Well, okay. I think it's really good that you're getting a look and you're getting an offer, but for whatever reason, X, Y, Z, I'm a little leery of the situation. I mean, or I think this is a really good situation for you. Here's why. I think it's important. I think that sometimes people get so caught up in that initial offer,
right?
That initial phone call, that they jump, and I think that I've seen that. You see that a lot, but we can help you. We can help you, and we can help you for free. Okay, initially,
Correct.
we can, right, and allow us, to do that. We'd love to get in front of you. We'd love to talk to you.
And I'm gonna close with this. I knew those were the top 3 things, but the 4th thing, involve your parents in the process. Listen to what all parents are going to say. You know what? It's your decision. But in the hindsight, they want to be there to help you too.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to make the decision for you, but they may see something that you didn't see or that you didn't notice or something. Listen to them. They're not trying to dictate to you where to go. They're trying to help you make an informed decision on top of what we could give you. And I think a lot of student athletes nowadays will say, "Yeah, I know it's my decision," and then you shut everybody off. No, I got to make it, and then the decision that should be one of the biggest decisions of your life at that point in time becomes nothing but panic and nothing but stress.
Yeah.
And you could just never enjoy the process. And that's what this is, a great time and a great decision. And you know what? Like you said, you transfer, everybody's going to make a mistake. If you're going to do it though, do it for the right reason.
Yeah.
Not that you didn't do your homework and give it 100% when you made that choice.
Yeah. Here's a reason. I'm going to tell you you know why I transferred. I transferred because after the last game of the season, my coach left for his wife got a job. His wife got a job and he had to move to another state. And going into the summer, I fully planned on going back, and I ran into one of my teammates at a summer ball game, and he said, "Hey, you ought to give this place a shot." And I thought, well, our school doesn't have a coach yet. So it was it just kind of happened. But there's different reasons
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
that's right. That's right. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. If you work with us, we'll help you initially go to a school. If something unforeseen happens like that, we'll be there for you to help you with the next time.
Yeah,
You know, we,
absolutely.
you just don't sign on with us and we get you to a point and say goodbye. We're with you. We want to see it through with you. We want you to succeed. We want you to uh, go as long as you can, play as long as you can, become a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, whatever. We want to see you successful in whatever it is. And I think that if you give it a chance, and we've had a lot of traffic on our site the last 2 weeks, even with the holiday season coming, people filling out the questionnaire, people wanting information, talking to people. We appreciate you guys who tune in live on X and watch this. So, I mean, we're here for you. It doesn't, like you said, the best word around this time of year is free. And you'll understand that when you get older and have to buy gifts and gift cards and everything else for family members. We're offering you a free evaluation, a free consultation, and let you know what we could do to help. We have various levels of our program that we offer. I've told 2 people that I don't think you need this program. We can help you with this one, and you'll do just fine. We aren't there to get money in our pockets and get rich off this. We're there to give you what you need, make you successful in this transition, and help you to make an informed decision on the next 4 years of your life. And I think, I'm going to end with that, Coach. You feel free. I mean, bottom line, we're here.
We're here. Reach out, DM us, email us, get on the website. We will. We'd love to talk to you.
Well said. We'll see you next week. Next week. What do we wait from Christmas? We're 3 weeks, right? Still away. All right, we got a couple weeks here, but we'll see you next week anyway. And feel free to DM us if you've got questions, or you even got some softball or baseball stories for Christmas. We'll listen. But we'll see you next week. Watch for us on X. Get on there and fill out that questionnaire. We'll get right back to you. Till then, we'll see you.